today. From Empower Field at Mile High in Denver, it's Week 18 of the NFL on EA Sports.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us at the foot of the Rockies, just west of downtown Denver at Empower Field at Mile High. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Miami Dolphins and the Denver Broncos. No run back here on the opening kickoff as we'll start at the 25. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. They will be led out by the 6-foot lefty from Alabama. It's Tua Tagovailoa.
And he's certainly putting together an MVP-type season, leading the league in both passing yards and touchdown passes. There have not been too many defenses that have been able to stop him or even slow him down. So he's got his sights set on another big game right here.
On first down, Tagovailoa. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So a costly penalty yardage-wise as that'll move the football down to the spot of the foul.
And what the officials are looking for in these situations, whether you're playing the man or the ball. And if you're playing the man, you get a lot less leeway in terms of what's going to happen at the end of the play. But if you're looking for the football, it's less likely to draw the flag.
And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be second and very short. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening. Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up second and 5. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run. And let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down. Otherwise, it's going to be a long afternoon.
First and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. They'll try to run this one in, and he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A 3-yard touchdown run, and the Dolphins are going to take a first-quarter lead. On paper coming in, you'd say that these guys are the better team by far, and they sort of showed their superiority there on the opening drive.
Yeah, they came in the heavy favorite in this game, and even though they're on the road, they just wiped it away, didn't they? They've just said to everyone, we're the better team. We just showed it to you on this opening drive, and we expect to do it all game long.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. And leading them, Charles, their quarterback, their field general.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it, because they ran the ball some, they threw it accurately. 1 touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
They run for the first time with Javonte Williams. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. That's taken on the 25. The danger of a punt that good, a 16-yard return. And it'll be Dolphin football. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. A tough challenge here in this one. We'll see if he can duplicate the numbers on your screen that he put up last week, up over 100 and a touchdown.
We're watching tape to prepare for this game. One thing you noted that I totally agree with, great complimentary piece in the last game. They're able to throw it pretty well. He ran it exceptionally. And I hope to continue that same formula in this game.
Complimentary with an E, not an I.
That's my English teacher right there.
2nd and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. Now a handoff here to his running back. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. He's obviously a bit of a shorter running back. And sometimes when he goes up the middle like that, he gets lost in there and then he pops out for 10, 20 yards.
I actually asked NFL linebackers if that was true. Do you actually lose sight of some of the smaller running backs? And all of them confirmed that that can be a problem. Think of it this way. 2 of the top running backs in NFL history, Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, both 5'10".
They'll run on 1st down. Singleton. Dropped at the 35, but able to display some strength on the run. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. So, Charles, you look at this offense, and really on paper at least, a great situation for them upcoming. They're unbeaten on the year, an open week coming up after this. So I guess my question, any worry that maybe this is coming at the wrong time?
Oh, definitely I would be worried about this game, maybe more than any other on the schedule, because I know my guys are looking ahead to that open week. I've got to keep them focused on the task ahead, make sure they take care of business in this one. Otherwise, you're talking about a double trap. The trap of losing the game and then having the open week and having to stew about it.
On 1st down, Blake. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice gain.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Now a first carry for their fullback. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there. His 25th touchdown, tying Emmitt Smith for the 5th most in one season. And the Dolphins lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ballgame. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that'll make the score 14-0. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. Throwing to start the drive. Peck. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Now on 3rd and forever, he'll look to throw. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Isaiah Simmons picking it off. And a 1st and goal coming up here inside the 10-yard line. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. And to give this time to the tailback. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that makes the score 21-0. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. And the football going back over to the Denver Broncos. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown. So decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan? Or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
They begin the drive with Williams. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. This defense for the Dolphins, they were very strong last week in that win over Cleveland.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game, because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain. I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
And we'll see what he can do on the return. 8 yards on the return following a punt of 41. And out will come the offense as they take over. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And he's found the... The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. And they, on paper, Charles, no doubt they have the edge in this one. They are sitting with the AFC elite, and on the other side, they're down toward the bottom of the AFC. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. Then all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Jalen Waddle, 67 yards. And the Dolphins are able to grow their lead. Now, first quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, it is stealing it and scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over them.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that makes the score 28-0. So this not what we expected. 28-0 here in the first as another kickoff is away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Off the play fake. Peck. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Well, these guys certainly need something good to go their way because this first quarter has been something of a disaster for them trying to move the ball. But that completion there maybe can get them focused and moving in the right direction.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Off play action. Peck. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
That's 3 sacks now. That's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. From the gun, it's a run for Williams. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down. Here's Jack Fox now as he's on to punt for Denver. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. Fielded just inside the 20. It's a 47-yard punt, but they did give up 10 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1 play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1 play drives.
That's caught inside the 20. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Jalen Waddle with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Dolphins open the lead up to 34-0. Sanders now to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. 1 play drive and into the end zone for 6. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. And Denver getting set to take the field. They've got to be absolutely reeling right now. Couldn't have expected to be down this big this early. But that's the spot they're in as they come up to try again here. first down. Peck. In trouble, and he's taken down. Derek Brown. What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on. How about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Back to throw. Peck, and he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
That was not a real confident throw right there, and he's just 2 of 7 to start the game. Now he's going to have to find a groove with a big 3rd down coming up. Let's see if his confidence can increase.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back, and they'll get him down here at the 23. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
The Broncos send out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Fielded at about the 28. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Looking to pass. Tua going for the deep ball. This is caught inside the 15. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Jalen Waddle on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Dolphins are able to widen their lead here in this first half. So not only is that his 3rd touchdown catch of the game, he's done it here in the first half.
I'm not sure defensively what they're going to come up with to slow him down, because already we're seeing him run past, over, through guys in order to make these catches. And being able to try and shut him down at this stage of the game, it's going to take a lot of effort. So maybe it'll open things up for some other people.
Well, they better figure something out, and soon. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. In 2nd quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates, find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now they'll toss it out right to Williams. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative. Well, you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is just going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively, or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
That's pulled in at the 32. So holding there on the return, and that'll back them up to start the next drive.
Yeah, that's a pretty easy call right there, partner. I think when the officials look in their manual and see the expression jersey getting pulled, that's a flag coming out every time.
Setting to throw on first down is Tua. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown. Jalen Waddle on his way to a historic performance. 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control.
If you didn't know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now you can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the route is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
On 1st and 10, Peck. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34, and he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. And remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that will extend this big lead. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He and his team, they have had a rough go of it here in this first half. Maybe time for him to put his foot down here in the second quarter.
Put his foot down and become a little more accurate throwing the football. He's already thrown 2 interceptions. He's trying to find a way to equal things out. And instead of it going to the opponents, get it to his own receivers and find the end zone.
Yeah, you mentioned those 2 picks. No touchdown passes yet either.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. Looking to throw. Peck. He finds his man. Complete. That's Franklin. And he will have the Broncos first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Williams. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, you don't turn your nose up at a gain of 4, do you? They'll take that on 1st down. Playbook's got to be pretty well open on 2nd and 6.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
I got you, son. I got you, son. Back 55. Back 55. Off the screen.
Back to throw. Peck. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
To throw on 3rd down. Peck. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. This is taken at about the 14. So that one will be accepted. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. He's going to go for a big play downfield. A fight for it, and this is caught. What a catch. It's a big play there for Miami.
Another great throw there, and we talked about him when he broke the single-season record. But that last completion, CD, that puts him over 6,000 yards passing on the season. Just unheard of.
Brandon, there was a time not long ago when 3,000 yards was the gold standard for quarterbacks. He's doubled that. If more people come along like him and hit that type of a number, if you throw for 3,000 yards, you're in danger of losing your job.
3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And this is going to be another 1st down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos 19.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Mullins, and he'll take this down for about 4 yards, down to the 15.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now a handoff here to his running back. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a 1st. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there. On his way to a monster game, 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Dolphins just continue to pour it on. This is becoming quite the half he's had here.
Remember in our pregame meetings, they talked about wanting to run the football and staying with it? Well, when you're scoring this many touchdowns, there's no reason to go away from it, is there? They are off to a fantastic start. They hope it continues.
3 already for him. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. I think this crowd not really sure what to make of things. Their guys have not looked very good. Their leader here at the top, he hasn't looked that great either.
And most of the time you hear guys talk about how they don't let the crowd affect them or they block it off. Well, that's not really fully true because a lot of the times you ride the wave of emotion with the crowd when it's positive for you. In this case, they've got to find a way to shake it off and at least get something done to maybe put the crowd back on their side.
Absolutely. Give these guys something to cheer about.
Williams going to get it again on second down.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage.
Tackled by Isaiah Simmons.
They just keep trying, but so far, finding no room for him to run.
None whatsoever. In fact, you run the numbers. He's under 3 yards a carry at the moment. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. He finds his man complete. That's Townsend. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Throwing on 1st down. Peck. He finds his man complete. It's Franklin. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Let's just make this one simple. Could he be any more open than he was on that play?
And they lost him going to the outside.
Hard to believe because you go through your accounting on each and every defensive snap. Who's got who, what defense you're in. That was totally a blown coverage.
Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be 3rd and about a foot or 2. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
Yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Here's 2nd and a yard.
Looking to throw. Peck.
This will be caught. Judy.
And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. It's complete. Touchdown, Broncos. A great play there. with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Broncos are able to at least make things a bit more respectable. Extra point splits the uprights, and they get a bit of a respite here from what's been an otherwise dreadful first half of football. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate...
And got his man complete. Touchdown, Dolphins. Jalen Waddle, 67 yards. And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control. And that touchdown reception is the 5th for him in this game, and that ties the NFL record.
And a record that's held up since 1950. This is another person that's tied it, but think about this. Bob Shaw said it in 1950. Kellen Winslow came along and tied it. And then, of course, Jerry Rice tied it as well. And finally, we're seeing it here one more time. Phenomenal.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. Denver's offense now set to go. And with still more than a minute to go in the half, time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You could never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant. Go. Mike 56. Mike 50.
Operating from the gun. Peck. That's going to be caught by Judy. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Looking to throw on second down. Peck. And that one off the mark behind him. Incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense. It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. We'll call that a 43-yard punt, 2 on the return, and possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
He doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's...
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown. Jalen Waddle, 81 yards. And the Dolphins just continue to pour it on.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and the route is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
The Broncos going to get one more possession in this first half, and they've got less than 30 seconds to go here, so not a lot of time to work with.
On first down, Peck. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Isaiah Simmons picking it off. And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, hey, watch the ship. Watch the ship.
Tua sets up to pass it. And a high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on 1st down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. That is caught by Waddle. Touchdown, Miami. Jalen Waddle in the final seconds of the first half. And the Dolphins will extend their lead here just before halftime.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. 4 seconds, all that remain here this first half as the kick gets away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Well, the white flag coming out as they line up to kneel on it.
56, the mark, boys. 56. Check 56.
And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome into our EA Sports Halftime Report. A busy final day of the regular season, so let's get to it. We'll begin up at legendary Lambeau Field in Green Bay. And it's the Packers who have the lead as that game approaches halftime. 3 touchdown passes there for Jordan Love. From there, let's get to the Meadowlands to check on the Giants at home at MetLife Stadium. And you can see there it's the visiting Colts who have the lead in that one. Jonathan Taylor with a touchdown run. Lastly, let's get up to Buffalo to check on the Bills. And they were winners in their ball game as they were able to handle the visiting New York Jets. Stephon Diggs, well over 100 yards receiving.
And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. It'll be the Broncos getting the football first in this second half as they trail, and we are back underway. No run back here to begin the half, and we will start at the 25-yard line. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And he's looking to take much better care of the football here in half 2 after 3 first-half interceptions.
We don't have to just look strictly at the numbers here. You know what else happens to a team when you turn it over 3 times like that? It erodes confidence in you. And it erodes confidence in the offense. And now you have the defensive guys looking over and saying, what is going on here? And instead of playing for the team, they're playing angry and mad at their teammates.
That catch good for only a couple. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Back to throw. Peck out quickly to Judy.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Here we go, D. Get off the field. Mark 55. Mark 55.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Coming after you. Mark 55. Mark 55. Let's go.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13. Looking to throw. Peck. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down. And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away. "21 yards. Well done on the return. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. And last time out, another touchdown, and I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats?
Who?
You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads
true.
will be fairly clear
that is
by the
one
time we have to
positive.
leave the booth.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they're going to have this way down deep in Denver territory. 55 rushing yards rushing for him now, and he's only carried the ball 4 times.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. Punching it in from a yard away. And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that will extend this big lead. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Denver's offense ready to go again. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. The Broncos send out their punter now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Fielded at the 33. And oh, he spins past him and into space. And now off to the races down the right side. And he will score. Touchdown, Miami. He goes 67 yards on the punt return. And the Dolphins just continue to pour it on.
Well, it certainly feels like that kind of game, doesn't it? No matter what they do, it's going to work. That might be the absolute crusher right there. A punt return for a touchdown.
Feels like there's been a lot of crushers in this game. This lead just gets bigger. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead will swell by 1 more. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Williams going to get it again on 2nd down. And he'll be brought down right around the 37.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down. Keep the sticks moving.
On 1st and 10, Peck got his man complete over the middle. It's Franklin, and he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been any. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Peck. Had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. The Broncos send out their punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away.
A nice job getting free on the return for 13 yards.
The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field.
They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They run the counter. Singleton. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
96 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
You got three down.
They run the counter. Singleton. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging into our second half blowout material.
He's coming. Check in. No gain on this defense. No gain. Check 99.
They run the counter. Mullins. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. He's turning in a pretty impressive performance running the football, and a big reason why they have this nice lead.
And in days gone by, we would clip this out and put it up on the refrigerator, wouldn't we? Clip out the box score. Nowadays, not too many newspapers out there. Maybe you screenshot it online.
Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10.
Tight dog. Check the backer.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
2nd down at 7.
Check 43.
They run the counter. Singleton. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On third down, it's Blake. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6.
57 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on third down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there. His 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game.
And the Dolphins look poised to reach 17-0 as they add on to their lead.
Even though they've got this big advantage, Charles, they are not taking their foot off the gas pedal right now.
Well, I think what we're seeing is the result of all their great preparation and great practice time during the week. And even though it seems like this is a great chance to pull people back and maybe, not try and score a few more times, they don't want to do that. I think they're enjoying what they're seeing, the collective effort, and they want to play it all the way out.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that will extend this big lead. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25.
And Denver getting set to take the field.
Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. Just too much to handle on the other side in this one. This one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
Yeah, once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. Now he dumps this off over the middle. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down.
Hands it off out of the gun.
Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd. The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. 46 yards on the boot. The coverage holds him to just 3 on the return. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
Let's go. Panther 60. Panther 60. Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right. 3 down. 3 down. Hey, check. 3 down. 3 down.
They run the counter. Singleton.
And he'll have a Dolphins first down as the tackle made just shy of the 40.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
They run the counter. Mullins, and he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. Second down coming up.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strip. Whip, 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 whip. Watch the whip. Watch the set go.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 124 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 45-yard line. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he's able to get this one down to about the 40. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son. Sponge. No. Check your hot feet.
Now a give, right side. Singleton. And he gets it down to the 32.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Only needing 2 yards on 2nd down.
Check three.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Mullins. Down he goes at the 10 with a solid pickup of 8.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. On 2nd down now. It's Mullins. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be giving a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They've got a 2nd and goal now as they look to add a few more points here onto their total. On 2nd down, it's Mullins, and they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Just power football there down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in, have to report like they're eligible, but all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
Sanders on for the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And the stats on the screen tell the story. A great start. This defense, they made some good adjustments, so he's fallen off since.
Have to like what they did at the half, but you also have to like the fact that they hung in there. Despite the fact they had a tough first half, he was locked in, right? And rocking and rolling. They came out, made their adjustments, got their confidence back. Now they're causing them all sorts of trouble. Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column, but as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the...
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down. And you could say that is just another cherry on top for this defense and that entire team. But really, this defense has sparked what's been an impressive effort here in this one.
And I notice you used the word sparked because you're not seeing that on the other side of the ball, are you? The offense right now, the spark has left their game, and it's been because of what you described, that defensive pressure.
Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Dolphins get the football in great field position. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
On 1st down, Dillard. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Working with his 2nd and 4.
He's coming. Double up, double up. Hey, check that. Check that. Twist.
And to give this time to the tailback. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Miami, they make NFL history with this, their 17th win without a loss, a perfect 17-0 on the regular season. And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, they'll finish a less than stellar campaign with a mark of 6-11. And this is a team that has a few good pieces in place, but could stand to get deeper and younger all around. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.